In this video, I'll be walking you through a foam rolling technique that you can use to increase your shoulder flexion. Let's begin with a self-check pre-test. So with shoulder flexion, we'll start by standing feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to be thumb up, and we're going to raise our shoulder and arm toward the ceiling. If you move too far, you're going to see that the ribs kind of jut forward like that. So we want to make sure we're just going to the point to where that does not move. So what we want to line up here, if we really want to be picky, is we want to make sure that the head is lined up with the shoulder and the ribs, and that is lined up over the hips. Then we take a look at the arm, and we see where that is relative to the head. We'd like to try to get our arm as close to the ear as possible. Before we get started, I'd like to bring to your attention that a foam roller should never cause pain. So if the pressure being created is not tolerable, back off and work into things more slowly. So let's get into the setup and the assessment of this soft tissue release we're going to perform. So grab your foam roller and find a space on the floor. The area we need to scan is going to run along the back side of the arm into the armpit and onto the ribs. So we're going to lay over the foam roller on the side we want to mobilize, and our weight is going to be on the bottom hip there, as represented by the yellow arrow. You'll use your top foot to begin to roll front to back and side to side a little bit, and you're searching for tender points. Once you find one, what you're going to do is you're going to take your elbow and press it directly into the floor, and you're going to hold for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds is up, you're going to reach straight towards the ceiling. I do it 5 times here in the video. Sets and reps will vary. Once you've completed your overhead reaches, then you go back and rescan, and we're searching for the next biggest tender point. We press the elbow back down for 5 seconds. Now, as I'm pressing it into the ground, I'm pressing fairly lightly. It's about a 3 to 4 pressure out of 10. So you don't need to push real hard into the ground. Then you repeat with your reaches. And continue with your sets and reps that have been prescribed. When performing this technique, you can virtually move your arm in any position in space. So here, I'm going to find a spot. I'm going to press down with my elbow again for 5 seconds, and then we're actually going to rotate as opposed to reaching toward the ceiling. So feel free to play around and experiment with the direction in which you reach in order to target the area that you'd like.